That's a lot of healing, and you've kind of already shown your supports. So I was about to say, well, Silencer's gone, but are you really going to pick a Silencer in this? The only other place that you could probably look to run the
10
Silencer
seconds
would be mid.
remaining.
It'd be a decent lane up against the Dragon Knight, but
5
you've already got the
seconds
puck, so
remaining.
you've kind of revealed that as well. And then AA,
Radiant
not
team
really going to be a good AA game because of all of this. Worst case scenario, just go back for the Mizu Darkseer. Darkseer plus Tusk, that's going to be quite a nice one. But then, I mean, I guess it's going to be a support Dawnbreaker. So I was about to say, what's going to stop them from going like an Oracle or an Enchantress just to be able to stop this lane?
10
But
seconds remaining.
I think it's nothing that they should be overly concerned about on Motivate either. Like unless it goes super late, and even then, these Wall of Replica illusions aren't that insane to be able to have to deal with in the super late game.
Are you a fan of the Darkseer? I'm trying to
10
convince
seconds
myself that I
remaining.
like the pick. I just don't see
It's
how.
because it's Mizu. That's
Radiant
why you're trying to
team
convince
ban.
yourself.
If it was a Mizu, you say you wouldn't like it?
Dire team
Pretty
ban.
much, yeah. I mean, like everything about it seems fine. Like the Tusk is a good pairing as the lane. You've also got the Puck, who obviously is going to take great advantage of the vacuum. Hell, you can even just Dream Coil and vacuum people out of it to snap the coil as well, which is always a nice little bonus as well, right? But
10
my
seconds
issue is
remaining.
that again, early on, the damage just isn't quite
5
there
seconds
for
remaining.
Nigma Galaxy. Like Tusk, he's
Radiant
of course
team
very
pick.
physically oriented. Dragon Knight, Mars, they're heroes that don't really care all that much about it. Dawnbreaker, like I've been saying with these newer heroes, they've all got some sort of method of escape. So you should be able to use the Celestial Hammer, for example, to avoid any kind of Ice Shard trap. Just these sorts of things. So you've got 4 strength
10
heroes right now
seconds
on
remaining.
Motivate, and nowhere really to deal with them once it gets to, the
5
mid stage of the
seconds
game.
remaining.
Are you surprised they let Jackie's Deuces still in the pool?
A little. I mean, you do have the Wall of Replica. Maybe that's what they're thinking is like, let's let them get the hyper carry. Let's just try and turn it around onto him.
Yeah, that was kind of my thinking in my head as well, but it's a good matchup versus the Puck. You said the shards could be an issue. You can go Hurricane Pike, or you don't care about the shards, you stand your ground. I think you want a range here versus the Darkseer, and it's a great matchup with Io. Like the
Dire
reason why
team
I'm
pick.
considering. Okay, so they go.
Don't
Yeah,
hate it.
I'd like. Yeah, What is the difference when a Gyro and a Deucer? Like, what would provide you?
Well, a big part of what a gyro also, it comes online a little earlier. It's also a pretty good lane to be able to punish out the Darkseer or the Tusk if they look to dive a
10
bit deep. You
seconds
can look to
remaining.
put 1 point in a rocket barrage and actually get a decent amount done. And then super
5
late,
seconds
you
remaining.
get the Wall of Replica off. A big part of why Gyrocopter is strong, especially as the position one in the late game, is the flak cannon. But Wall of Replica illusion isn't going to have any sort of flak cannon damage coming out. So it's even a nice way to make this Darkseer pick not even that good in the super late stages.
I'm looking at Morphling for Nigma Galaxy. I think the matchup versus Eye is great for the burst, the Mars as well, and Replicate for Gyro. They might not go down that route because I think you always want a melee carry with your Darkseer though. They banned out Ursa, Lifestealer, Slark, and Wraith King. Like 4 of the better matchups with Darkseer is now gone.
Morphling
Monkey,
kind of likes to get up there in the thick of
yeah.
things, though, right? Especially if he's got a gyrocopter to morph into.
I just think he's not like ideal shell hero in a
You
way.
could just put it on Puck instead, right? Puck and Tusk, and I think you'd be okay with that.
So what else could you go? What's a lacquer hero?
In your dream hero that fits well with this draft.
It has to be damage. Like you're gonna need someone with a lot of damage that can go late.
I was about to say the Slark, but they banned it out on Motivate with their last pick. I think that would have been a great thing against this like tanky lineup where you just become an absolute beast because of all of the stolen stats that you're able to acquire.
You could jug.
Honestly, you could.
I feel that whenever I see Jug, like a hero just feels right now. But he's always like the fifth hero on the list. Like you go down all of them, you get to Jug. Maybe he was a bit lower
He's a
than
jack
that.
of all trades,
Yeah.
basically.
Like I really think he's just even lower than maybe fifth. But I mean, pretty good
I like
against
your Morphling
Io.
suggestion.
Yeah.
I like your Morphling suggestion. I think just anything that's able to immediately pop.
I saw that and I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want the Luna. I don't. I just. Okay, so it's got mixed damage versus the Mars, which I think you need. I think any hero you pick versus Mars either needs a way to get out of arena or you need a way to not worry about Bulwark. So Luna kind of does that with Beam Eclipse. Provide you a lot of magic bursts, which is nice because you've got a team fight to utilize with it. You know, Coil, Darkseer. I don't think he uses Surge too well. I don't think he uses Iron Shell too well, but they did need a way to take towers, so...
Yeah, it gives you the tower push. There's not even anyone that really makes use of the Luna Blessing other than Luna herself, right? At least with the IO, I suppose, you're able to get the glaives bouncing around to heroes, like, guaranteed. You're not going to be looking
10
to take on
seconds
one hero
remaining.
at a time, basically. So there's that, at least a little bit. But
5 seconds
I don't
remaining.
know. I really like Motivate's lineup with this. I think they're going to struggle with trying to kill even the simplest targets, to be honest. Maybe in the laning stage with a Tusk, of course, but beyond then, I think it's looking pretty rough for him. So,
Okay,
yeah, I'm going to go Motivate.
So, well, let's look at this. I think Motivate are going to really lack ways to deal with Alacrity for the first 14, 15 minutes before Fearless gets Blink. That's even going to go later and later if Mastros has a rough lane. Do you feel like Mastros will struggle versus Luna Snapfire?
Potentially. I mean, I feel like Q is going to do a lot of the zoning out, though, so it's not going to be quite as bad for him. I think Q's understanding of his limits is very good. Just being able to constantly push the edge and make sure that he's getting out on barely any HP and taking a lot of the attention away from Masaros so that he can actually focus on getting working towards his next item as opposed to spending it on regen. So yeah, I think if Nigma Galaxy are going to win this, they need to crush the lanes. Alacrity isn't going to do it because he's against a Dragon Knight, but other than that, the side lanes I think need to be going completely, dominant for Nigma Galaxy to have a shot.
And you're not expecting that to happen? You don't really think these side lanes are going to go to the extent that
dominant.
they need to?
Yeah, I think it'll be favorable, but not as dominant as you might want. And so once you get that Blink Dagger like you were talking about, that's the key timing where they can just look to, like, I mean, you mentioned it's being hard to kill the puck, but if Luna's not alive, you're not pushing any kind of towers. So I feel like they're just going to go for Luna. It's overpriced for what it is.
I definitely
I'd rather go to a nice gelato place as opposed to an ice cream place.
Oh, love me some good ice cream. I mean, now it's heading into summer. It's just getting... It really do be the time of year.
We're in dangerous territory.
Yeah,
right
it really
now.
is. Like, it's just like a tub could go down so easy some nights. I just wake up and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? That tub just disappeared.
Remind me after the game, because I'm pretty sure at Coles or Woolworths, I bought a tub of Haagen-Dazs ice cream when I went the other day. So I will prove to you that we have it here.
I mean, I don't doubt you. I'm just doubting the fact that it's something I should know. Haagen-Dazs ice
You should
cream.
know about it.
Alright, here we go. Back on the way. A bit of a long pause, but should be worthwhile. Motivate up against Nigma Galaxy. Anyone that is tuning in, keep in mind, this is going to determine upper bracket and lower bracket Nigma Galaxy. They need to just win one map here. Ideally, you win the series, take the 2-0, head into the playoffs with some momentum.
30
But,
seconds
you know,
to
they
battle.
were able to 2-0 Neon in the group stages, so if they were to tie them after everything's said and done, then they would win on head-to-head. But keep in mind, if Motivate 2-0 Nigma Galaxy, then it'll be Motivate going through along with Neon. So we'll keep reiterating a little bit as we go forward. But last series of the group stages, what a cracker we have to end out the 11-day bender that we've got. And playoffs will be starting in the next couple of days. But this is, I'm excited, man, because Nigma Galaxy feel like they've been... do you feel like they're experimenting a lot of things? Like what do you feel like's going on with this team? Because same with Polaris, like there's a lot of teams.
Would you say they were experimenting? They picked Snaptide a lot, like they picked the same stuff a lot. I can understand if they're going something completely different every single time, but didn't really feel like much of the case. And they're actually changing the lanes up a little bit here. Set Zero joining together with Masaros, and we've got Q backing up Jackie a little bit here. Also something a little different is Mizu with the Darkseer. He has the Quelling Blade, so he's going for a little bit of the Karate Chop to make sure that he can outlast hit the Gyrocopter, who has notoriously bad right click. But yeah, look at what Q
so
does.
Stupid. Far out. That annoys me so much. When Q just did 2/3 of Darkseer's health with with the full swipe. Why is this a I don't like
That's
it.
the power of Galaxy Mummy.
Galaxy Mummy.
Yeah, she looks like she's from Star somewhere. I should know.
Some random world.
It's 1 a.m., all right? I'm allowed to be a little delusional.
Oh, I mean, this always comes up. You get the late stage, the early AMs. You got some delusional casters right now. And I pray for everyone.
Well, Q's just going to do his job of zoning out 2 people. Very balanced.
Cool hero. Just
Not even needing the Celestial Hammer, just Starbreaker is enough.
Alright, well, this looks like it's going to be pretty much free farm for Jackie. How about these other lanes? I mean, mid, it's going to be... I mean, all Fearless, Alacrity should still get farm, but I feel like the big issue with the Puck versus DK matchup is Puck really wants to make rotations, and Dragonite forces you just to cement yourself in this lane, and it's exactly what the Puck doesn't want to do, and he's very vulnerable to ganks early. We could see Io and Celestial Mummy make these rotations.
There we go. You're getting on board.
Top lane? Master's taking a bit of damage here. But once again, you don't deal with the Io, you don't deal with the other hero. So Masteros is okay.
Even mid a little bit, you know, Fearless has taken a decent amount of harass.
Is Io okay, actually? Okay, Fairy Fire pop, yeah, it gets out to safety.
But Alacrity able to take both water runes, so nice little bonus for him. Might even look to try and cancel that salve if possible. Fearless knows to get back in time. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is the sort of lane that even though it is DK favored as well, sorry if that was a bit of tea to us that you weren't able to look at because you were listening to me, but
I saw that.
That's 2 kills. All right, very good. Yeah, Alacrity is good enough that a favorable lane for the Dragon Knight is probably still going to be just fine for Alacrity.
Yeah, quite often we see a Puck will not put... it's interesting. Sometimes it's nice having phase shift just to dodge the breathe fire. Of course, stop a little bit of the damage over time, be able to help with your CSing as well, because that damage reduction is very annoying. But then again, Puck really wants to have his abilities maxed out so he can de-push the lane by the time it comes to the DK pushing timing. So it goes back and forth. I see a lot of different builds here from Pucks. It's kind of just personal preference and maybe depends on some of the rotations.
Yeah, for sure. How's Mizu doing? Oh, I mean, I know it's early days, but it doesn't have a ton of last hit net worth here on the bottom side of the map on Mizu. Getting bullied out. And now with these level 2, level 2 in the Ion Shell, it'll make things a little bit easier, but, you know, still with 2 points to be skilled up on the Tusk, you would assume he's going to go 1 point into the Snowball and Tag Team. I really do feel like it was a missed opportunity, though, to make these lanes go even better than they already were, just by having Joe Cam be up on the top side of the map at level 1.
I do not see why you would not do that. Like, it's literally a free first blood with Tag Team. Like, yeah, maybe they just don't come, they sit in the tree line. Okay, you missed the opportunity, but, like, just make the attempt. Like, Tag Team's such a stupid ability, and when you're combined up with 2 other heroes... well, they did get the kill previously. They're making another attempt on set 0, which almost falls. Mastros, so it's not going to have enough damage in the tank, so Poloson should just scar himself out on one leg. What's going on? Is this Sapphire wonky to you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's just doing a... Oh, I'm trying to remember my Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 names. I think that's called like a melon or something like that. I don't know.
What? You a skater?
No, yeah, I just played Tony Hawk when I was younger. It's a boomer thing, don't worry.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So you did the melon trick. Awesome, guys, look at me.
No, it's a manual. I'm an idiot. It's a manual. That's what it is.
I really preferred melon, honestly.
I hate melon. You know my opinion on melon on my fruit tier list. Oh, it's not high.
Coil
Drink mid lane.
Hang on, what's going on? Alacrity? Maybe hoping Fearless makes the mistake that he breaks the coil, but that is not going to happen. Fearless a little bit too experienced for that one.
Well, you do have the next set of spells, though, to be able to potentially pump in onto Fearless. Yep. That's getting a little bit too keen there.
No.
From Mr. Circle.
I mean, that's not how this matchup's supposed to go. Top lane.
Oh,
Cookie
nice
actually lands. Beautiful play from Poloson, and now they're turn to whip out a little bit of extra damage on Mastros as well, as Polson's doing an L. Some body blocks, some cookies to perfection, as this melon mama's doing everything.
It's not the melon.
All right, so Phyllis still has this catapult wave, which is really important.
I mean, it is, but you got this Tusk rotating through as well. Like, there's potential for a little bit of a turnaround here. Ice shards.
And they've also got Polison on the back line. So Phyllis needs some assistance. Is going to get it from the Celestial Mummy fast enough. Phyllis, let's see if the 3 points in the passive will keep him alive. But Alacrity's just... I mean, there's a reason why you pick Alacrity's puck this early on. Against an unfavorable matchup, he's shown that, you know, he can still play it.
Yeah, he's styling on him right now.
Well, I mean, bottom hasn't gone too great for Mizu, but we see... I think we've seen him not have the greatest Darkseid lane last time he played it, and he just went back and took stacks. So at least there's a way for Mizu to catch back up. You are giving absolute free farm to Jackie, which has to be a worry. What? There's 3 extra heroes top. Motivate gonna be so confused. Hang on, like, what? Why is there 4 heroes in my lane? That's like, guys, hang on, everyone getting something out of the map? Okay, this might be alright. Not if we lose also Io. So the ball of light's gonna end up dropping there. Killing spree somehow for Puck, and we were saying that I think this hero really needs to snowball to get to a stage where he has items, maybe like an early Aeon, something to keep him alive against the DK and the Mars.
Maybe. I mean, you've got the Tusk for that, kind of, right?
True.
And the Cookie as well. So you've got plenty of save potential through the rest of your team. I really do feel like he needs to itemize for pure damage, whether it might even be that Spirit Vessel that he ends up going for, right? Oh, no, it's the Tusk going for the Spirit Vessel. So he's already got the Urn of Shadows. Obviously, the early game going very well for Nigma Galaxy so far. So it makes it feel a little bit better that you're still going to get it around some of these good timings, maybe even before a few of these BKBs come out.
I wonder... I mean, no stacks at the moment at the Ancients. I would like to see Dire move on over and just try and block up the Ancients and the Hard. I think we haven't seen any stacks so far just because of how the Luna and Statfire has been playing very aggressive up in Masteros' grill. So it hasn't really given enough time for Z0 to try and enable the gyro.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're trying to give Masteros as much time solo as possible because, of course, with these big rotations through, if you're able to land an arena, there's, you know, obviously huge potential for some kind of turnaround, especially like arena. Solar Guardian seems like the way that they're going to be able to actually play into a lot of these early team fights coming through because they are lacking damage themselves a little bit in the super early game on Motivate. It's just that at around the 20 to 25 minute mark, I feel like that's where their lineup's really going to peak and have this unkillable sense to them.
Where they have 7 kills.
Yep.
How they have 7 kills? I was just not expecting this. Coming, I'm like, yeah, you know, Motivate. The mid lane's gonna go great. Bottom lane, well, I feel like that's the lane we expected to. At least that's going to expectations. Top's not going as well as I thought as well. So, yeah, Nigma Galaxy, they're playing this laning stage exceptionally well. But have they started stacking? Yeah, there's a double at the Hard, double at the Ancients too. So either team is going to put a lot of importance on really trying to enable their position 1.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Mizu, he's been taking a lot of that hard stack as much as possible, just wanting to make sure that, obviously, he's keeping up somewhat in net worth. He's still sitting towards the bottom of the cores right now, but as long as we're keeping those nice and healthy for Luna to eventually rotate over and look to take, I think they're fairly happy with how this early game is going so far on Nigma Galaxy. But again, it's just going to be dependent on how this sort of itemization keeps coming about. Because Jokam, despite having the Urn of Shadows, he hasn't been involved in any kills after that. So you're not going to get any kind of value through just yet.
Yeah, you need to keep enabling
him. Dive here. Look at this.
TP
Jackie.
down. Mizu just instantly surged away. He's even forced to drop the wall. More a defensive use of the ultimate there, but unfortunately Masteros can catch up to the speedy Darkseid. This has dragged them all the way down bot, so... Yeah, Yokem actually might just... Wait, there's no way karate chops.
Oh,
wait, there's no chance. Yokem? Oh my. Ooh, strength trade saving lives.
See, now imagine if he had that urn charge. You know, I feel like the kill on Fearless probably isn't the one that you're looking to go for. Want one with the much squishier heroes. Like, make a rotation, try and kill set 0, just so that you got the 2 points in there, so that you can either use it offensively or defensively to really aid with a lot of these early skirmishes.
All memes aside, this is not how you want the Dragonite to use his second Elder Dragon form. You're not going to get this tower now. Like, I don't know how you take mid, the fact that Alacrity's level 9. I mean, he's got...
Well, that might help. the double damage a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the Elder Dragon form's about to expire. But now Puck just shoves out the lane. two full use of abilities, no creeps, and I mean, Fearless needs a lot more emphasis on rotations, but you're not going to get that. Like, now Io needs to play with Gyrocopter, and Mars, like, maybe Mars makes a rotation around mid where he looks to drop the next arena, but they got to do it now, otherwise you're going to waste another catapult timing. You're on the clock here with a DK.
The thing is, like, Masteros, they've been able to spot out the fact that this wave was pulled through. I think that might be a bit of a mistake, though, from Paulson. Like, you've just given a siege creep, a complete siege creep, access to hit this tower. So, you know, it feels a little bit odd for me. Don't know if you'll look to commit onto the siege creep of the Dire side, just looking to pull it back into the wave, but yeah, I feel like that did a fair amount of damage that wasn't farmed up at all by Nigma Galaxy, although in your dream, he's been able to rotate back through towards the triangle. He'll try and farm a little bit around this sort of area. No points in the Eclipse just yet, but definitely looking to join in and make a kill happen here onto Q.
Just get a kill transition into an objective. Try and give Yocam some earned charges and some gold as well. That'd be the lovely thing. We highlighted how important this Spirit Vessel is going to be. I feel like it's okay now that it might come out a little bit later than I was really wanting to rush it because of how rough this laning stage has been for Motivate, but I like this. Just get Fearless up the top. Ideally, you want the T1 tower mid on the Dragonite at first, like that's best case scenario, but top is just so much easier to claim now. I don't know if Dire can protect it. Oh, yeah, they're actually coming down bottom. In your dream's gonna drop the Eclipse. He's got Mizu standing hand in hand as well. Let's see if the Luna's tanky enough to utilize all these ultimates. No siree, the global potential through the roof.
Sticking around for far too long, and that smoke didn't end up catching anyone.
Oh, they might punish them though. Yeah, Dire's starting to come back bot. Artillery is getting laid from afar. Mastros will attempt the TP, but Mizu instantly answers the call. So they will get some vengeance and back to the T1 tower.
Alright, well, Mizu's definitely recovered a lot of his net worth. He's building towards the Aghanim Scepter, kind of like what we were expecting. They have no ways to look to disable any kind of that, although he's just going into the Blink Dagger on Masteros here. I was thinking maybe the Yule Scepter just because of the double value in being able to take out the puck, honestly even triple value, you know, dodge out the Eclipse plus get rid of the Ag's Iron Shell. Might look to go out after the Blink.
I really don't think Mars is a good hero when you have a bad laning stage. Like, it just feels awkward with how you want to play. Like, you go Blink first, you want to fight, but you also want to farm. And it's hard to get the best of both worlds. It might be a little bit easier because you have really good global presence on Motivate, where you could be farming and then one stage you could just jump in with the help of Relocate or like the Solar Guardian. So
like we just saw, yeah.
Yeah, like we just saw. So I want Mastros to have a game, but I don't know how much they can enable him here.
I feel like it's one of these games kind of similar to what we saw with Secret, where they play with, like, when Zai was playing the position 3, it wasn't really a position 3, you know, he was sharing a lot of the love with Yapzor. So this time around, it's going to be Q, obviously taking up a lot more of the farm, trying to, you know, get beefy enough so that you've got that Holy Locket. I mean, let's just remember how low they were at the start of that team fight when the Eclipse was being used, and you just use that Solar Guardian while someone's tethered together. Jackie's going to look to get pretty damn aggressive in a lot of these engagements. So, because you could just stand there and fight. You've got Io healing you, you've got Overcharge, you've got, you know, Magic Wand, you'll have a Holy Locket, plus you'll have the healing coming through from the Solar Guardian itself. Like, it's a crazy amount of healing to just be able to stand there and fight, which just, I was about to say, underpins the need for the Spirit Vessel, but Jokam's changing it up. He's going into the Blink Dagger.
They've caught the puck. They know the orb's on cooldown for a short duration. Beautiful timing from Mastros' speed, but it's an even better snowball. They're all clumped up. Oh, look at the combination. Oh, it's beautiful. 5 down, behind the tower. The Wombo combo with a trap sprung. You deserve all the tips, Yocam. You set that up.
And then Mizu, of course, with the follow-up. You know, we were talking about before, we're trying to make this argument to ourselves of, is this Darkseer really good? How is it going to do in the laning stage? And then we just see that, you know, a vac wall into the full combination. That's the Wombo combo that you're looking to see.
Holy shit, that's the stuff for wet dreams right there. Nigma Galaxy, what a team fight. T1 tower now claim, 4,000 net worth lead. Have yourselves a fight, my lord.
Yeah. Snapfire was the one that did the most damage as well, by about 1,500 from the next highest. So those Mortimer's Kisses really come in value. It's even got a, okay, that's something that I like on Alacrity. A Veil of Discord coming out from him. Very good value item, especially against all these heroes that are pretty damn beefy to, you know, any kind of right clicks. You know, Gyrocopter, he's got 20 armor. You've got a Dragon Knight with all of that extra armor on top of, you know, his base. You've got the Bulwark to have to deal with eventually. So just deal magic damage and try and take over the game with that before the BKB start to come out.
Yeah, I really like the item because you were saying there was going to be lack of damage, which it looks like they're really itemizing to deal with that, especially with the Veil. I think there's a more important one. I think also just we didn't expect the lanes to go this well, so they're such over leveled than what we were kind of expecting the lanes to collapse with after, and I mean, a lot of your damage at this stage is really all from your spells. So I've just Nigma.SEA never stopped to impress me with how they can set up these team fights top lane. Fearless. It's got some extra reinforcements, and there goes all the sustain and instant delta split away as Yokam, the space created, I suppose. That's 5 Motivate heroes. So you better be hoping Nigma's getting something out of the map.
Yeah, they are. They're getting the BKB finished up for In Your Dream, so it's just going to enable them to fight a lot more. And honestly, probably now, you know, you've seen the relocate used, you've seen the the Solar Guardian used. You could definitely look to clump up around the Tusk being back. Alacrity's gone back to base, wanting to make sure he's got the bottle refilled. Boots of travel.
Mastro's actually going to look to reveal the blink here, straight on top of the Luna. Alacrity will even look to join the fray. They don't have Mizu though, which is the big combo they're requiring, and now In Your Dream forced to retreat out to safety. So 1 for 1, but at least Alacrity, that +1 factor does give them ample time for Luna to scurry on out. He's so farmed. Wait, how is Alacrity's farmed?
He's Alacrity. He's Mr. Pos 1, #1 in all of SEA. Jackie's in a little bit of a rough spot here, though. They've caught him in. Tag
Still
team.
shy. I mean, he's got a lot of stats, but that's not enough. And no IO, no sustain. A ball of light to keep yourself alive there. So another big kill. Nigma.SEA continuing to play this macro game across the map, farming and getting kills.
Even getting rid of vision as well. Yeah, I was thinking maybe it was like a little bit too of an aggressive positioning there from In Your Dream, just because, you know, obviously they were only able to get the IO in exchange for the Snapfire, when realistically I feel like they were in such a stronger position right then. You know, they didn't have 2 huge ultimates on Motivate.Trust side.
Oh, Polis
put out here.
And MG.Trust doesn't have assistance until the last remaining duration of that arena. So they're looking to trade a 1 for 1, but now Fearless is committed. Luckily enough, he's got an IO still to combine with, so they look to relocate out. Radiant, is there any response to the IO? MG.Trust is nearby.
The double damage on In Your Dream is going to help.
Oh, they actually bring Fearless? Wait, hang on, they think they can take the fight? MG.Trust has no arena, now you just force Fearless to BKB. In Your Dream will use his own.
For no reason.
Are they going to look to Roche?
I mean, why not? DD.
Okay. They might need some extra assistance. Mizu's also got Ags completed, but...
Radiant are
How does he keep doing it?
I don't
He
know.
always seems to find farm. Right place, right time, nearly into the Blink Dagger as well. So that next wombo combo could come out a lot sooner than Motivate.Trust might be expecting. Again, BKB check. Obviously, Dragon Knight's been able to pick one up. Still a fair ways away for Masteros here. And Gyrocopter hasn't even begun the quest for his, having just finished up that Ags.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie out of free lane, and the fact that he's 5th in net worth? Like, how has this actually happened?
I mean, it's just a few fights that haven't really gone their way. You know, you've got an IO, and it's not even just the net worth, right? You also have to consider the experience. Luna's a couple of levels ahead because of all the experience that you're splitting with Set Zero.
Yeah, this is going to be worrying signs for Motivate, considering this is the hero that, like, you're like, all right, we're losing mid, top's not going the greatest as well, but, you know, Jackie, he's having quite the lane, so... Yeah, we got to be pretty happy about that, but the fact that now he's behind in net worth and you're not at a stage where he's pretty close to BKB, so this is just going to be giving up Roshan.
Yep, this time around they've got the Medallion of Courage. Actually, is that a Solar Crest now? Yeah, it's a Solar Crest on Paulison as well. So that plus the tag team plus the little Shredder, they'll have plenty. Just looking to give that little bit of extra HP over to Yokam there.
Roshan has fallen to the dive.
All right, things looking good. Again, just as a reminder, Nigma Galaxy need to win one game of this best of 2 series to guarantee themselves a spot in that upper bracket, so it's a lot to play for, and they're certainly putting in a solid performance so far. The one worry for them is just making sure that they're getting enough off the map prior to those BKBs coming out for Motivate, because that's the next item being queued up by both Masaros and Jackie. See, Fearless here, even just popping his Elder Dragon form purely for farming purposes. Looking to stick around this top side, maybe try and pick off In Your Dream, but again, it's not like you've got a silencer that can look to instantly join you or stop any kind of engagements.
Okay, so how do we feel about still when Dawnbreaker gets Ags? You're going to have BKBs at that stage, and IO sustained with mech is going to be pretty crazy to deal with. Like, we saw what can happen when Nigma Galaxy land your team fight. Like, that was a crazy fight behind the T1 tower mid. But do you think that Radiant can out-sustain that with the lineup they have once they... I think they probably need 5-6 minutes, but once they get there, can they survive the team fight and then turn it? Because once Coil's expired, you know, once you waste the clips, Mortimer kisses, you can reset out of the wall. I think you're fine on Motivate. Are you in the same board, or...?
I think you're fine on Motivate, but I think that Nigma Galaxy aren't going to drop everything at once. You know, I feel like the Dream Coil, as important of a spell it is, you need to use it to kind of bait out these BKBs, and it's basically open up the opportunity for Mizu to have that game-changing impact, you know, in combination with the Mortimer's kisses. Mizu's made the TP rotation up towards the top side, making sure that they don't get this tier 2 free.
I'm not sure if Mizu showed or not, but they're coming down.
Yep. Fearless does have a TP, but no Elder Dragon Fall. Might just look to continue pushing, though. Pretty cool DK set, right? On fire. Yeah,
it is. Very, very cool set. Just running around, burning alive. Kind of sick of the persona? This anime dude?
Little bit. Yeah. I am ready for season 2, though. The show.
I still
need to watch season 1.
Yeah,
I know you do.
Yeah. I mean, I saw season 2 trailer and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll watch it. I need to. I cast Dota. I feel like I really need to know that.
You got to be on top of the memes. I can't say something and then you're completely oblivious when it comes to food, you know?
What? I reckon I have a better taste than you. Better taste buds.
Don't you start, Mr. Never heard of any kind of Asian cuisine in your life other than satay and butter chicken.
That's just so not true. You said one Vietnamese dish and you're like, oh,
Vietnamese, did you say?
Vietnamese. Vietnamese. Jackie, still yet to have the BKB completed, so he's going to be still cautious, and Fearless is still trying to push out top to find his Aghanims. I mean, he's doing a little bit of damage on the tower.
Even just looking to get any farm that they can on the bottom side of the map. Jackie's so close to picking up that BKB. Eventually going to come out on the courier. He's sending it just to where the tier 3 tower is so that it's ready for when they look to relocate back. So now they're okay to be able to take some of these team fights, but it still feels a little bit awkward with that Aegis still a minute and a half remaining, but you don't want to give up this tier 2 tower either. Yeah. So good pressure coming through.
Well, they might be able to pop the Aegis.
It's fine.
Oh, Alacrity is actually going to look to jump at the end.
Oh, the vacuum. Nearly got off to break
Jackie just gets the BKB off, but meanwhile the artillery is just raining down Hellfire. Set 0. The ball of light will drop.
I mean, you're totally cool with that on Nigma Galaxy, though, right? You take the tower, you lose the Aegis that was about to go anyway, you get a kill, and you burn a BKB charge on the gyrocopter.
Yeah.
Nothing went wrong that fight.
Behold!
Even got the Aeon disc ready to be assembled up in a worst-case scenario if Alacrity does eventually get the initiation in onto him. So it might even force him to play a bit more aggressive in front of the rest of the team, try and bait out some movements coming through as Jokem is just walking up towards the outpost, not wanting to give it up for free. Forces out the Elder Dragon form from Fearless, so I guess just wanting to try and waste some of the duration if he can. Although, how far up this hill do you want to go?
Q still got Celestial Hammer. Might not get it off fast enough. A beautiful vacuum as well to the low ground. So now Fearless, he needs some assistance, but the rest of the team are running the opposite direction. They will not provide anything for the Dragon Knight. Another wasted use of the BKB. Beautiful silence. Alacrity. Why are you so good on Puck? Oh my lord.
It's just always right place, right time. I think it's a little good that IO just doesn't have a guaranteed way to save anymore. if you're on point with your vision and you know, you're able to get a silence or a stun off, I think it's good.
Yeah, same.
Relocate isn't just this complete get out of jail free card.
I don't know why they're posturing so aggressively down bot. Like why do you want to fight now when you weren't saving your tier 2 tower? You're like, okay, let's get Ags on DK, we need BKB on Gyro. But why are you fighting now when you still don't have your items?
Yeah, I mean, it really did feel like the timing that they're waiting for was that DK BKB plus, Aghanim Scepter plus Masteros. He's only about 200 gold away, but, you know, the downside is you've now lost tier 2 bot, tier 2 mid, a whole bunch of the junglers opened up, so realistically there's only one place that you can be, either in your own triangle or on the opponent's side of the map. And you can just see here, they've kind of like preemptively got a bunch of sentries up, so when you're zipping around here by Alacrity, he's not just great at doing damage and making sure he's using appropriate spell casting, but he'll also look to do little things like use the illusory orb over the high ground, making sure to check for wards if he can, as just misses out on finding Masteros there. In your dream, even just backdooring a tier 1, excuse me, why not? You know, they only had 20 seconds left on the glyph, may as well take it while you can, although they might look to try and protect the mid tower, having to be careful about who shows in the lane. Again, remembering Alacrity does still have that Aeon disc that can be assembled at any time.
I think it really has to come back to the fact that this mid matchup went as appalling as what it did for the DK Puck. Like when matchups don't go how it's expected to go, it really crumbles on the type of style you wanted to play this game. Like, you're expecting your DK to snowball to take early tier 1 towers, which will open up the map, which will enable you to farm as aggressively as you want. Hold that thought. I think they're defending top. Fearless has got Aghanim's completed. Mizu's hiding the wings. Well. He's so ready for this jump. They're just going to counter-initiate instantly. They'll jump on the Luna, instantly ward drop, and the snowball to save. So as soon as he jumped in, he's going to have to try and reset his position, but they've dragged him further under the towers. In Your Dream now needs some assistance. A cookie to safety, but that'll do naught. As Masteros will turn, drop the arena. Mizu's going to try and blink away. They're well aware of the direction he went, but they're a little bit too late. So Motivate. Solid fight. Finally, some signs of life for the boys on Radiant.
Yeah, maybe just getting a little bit too keen. I mean, Alacrity didn't even pop the Dream Coil that time around, not seeing the opening. Of course, having the BKBs used, it just shows why it's such a key timing, right? You can fight into the Puck prior to him picking up the Aghanim Scepter. He did have the Dagon previously queued up, but instantly switches over to Ags as they make an attempt here onto Jackie. They snap the coil as well.
Oh, Jackie. They do have the Dragonite swing on Nova. The rest of the team as well, so Jackie's just going to stand his ground. Even Iro's looking to buy back as well, just in case. He's going to have to rely on the backup, but is the normal punch going to be enough? Thanks to the extra illusion, it is. But now Fearless, he's locked on top of Mizu. Surge on cooldown for a couple of seconds. That last right click from afar is Fearless with the Dragonite. Fired a killing streak, 591 gold for the bounty.
Again, though, well worth it. Buyback expanded. Carry for a position 3, you're totally cool with this if you're Nigma Galaxy. Now, they still don't have any kind of pushing potential. You know, you use the Elder Dragon form. It's got 15 seconds until it's up for sure, but, I mean, I don't think at this stage of the game a tier 1 tower bot is really going to change much of anything. And we do also have that Spirit Vessel now completed for Jokam. So, you know, kind of going from bad to worse. You can just look to use it onto the IO. Maybe change your target priority a little bit more. I know they've been going heavily into trying to burst down this gyrocopter, but if they can kill the IO instead, that's just so much of the healing potential removed from Motivate's lineup.
We have seen how these fights can look, though, for Radiant. When you drop that Solar Guardian, you control an area, the sustain can be through the roof.
All BKBs.
Yeah. Do you feel like that can really continue, or is there something that Nigma Galaxy can do, just one slight switch up to make that not be a common occurrence?
I mean, I think, honestly, I feel like this game is kind of based on how Motivate look to take their team fights and what the communication is like before them. Alacrity's going to walk into set 0 here. This would be a dieback, by the way, if he gets caught out.
He'll get no assistance, and also nice awareness. Anticipating someone else to be nearby like we so often see on an IO. They've got a deep lane ward, not that they'll need it. Jackie's still got BKB, a nice back tap. Straight on top of the Snapfire, they're going to look to get rid of the kisses. Alacrity still hiding as well. He's going to be cautious. Fearless blink in a couple of seconds, but it looks like Nigma Galaxy want to stand hand in hand. As Mizu, he's coming on over as well. This Darkseid is such a key component for the lineup, as without the BKB, Gyrocopter has to keep retreating further and further back to the safety of the tier 3 tower, but he might not even make it. Wall drop, blocking the retreat. Finally, they'll lose out on Jackie. It's still going to cost him the task, but in your dream, he's looking to try and find an avenue into the team fight. The shot just blocking them all in. No escapers again. Nigma Galaxy, time after time, the team fight reigns supreme.
And they're able to even rotate through to mid. They've got this siege creep as well. No buybacks on anyone except Dawnbreaker, and it doesn't really feel like it's worth it. You're so close to being able to pick up this Aghanim Scepter.
Another coil. They try and get the break.
They're just
Even the punch.
saving him. They're just saving Alacrity, just doing every little thing. You could see he was trying to go for the God's Rebuke there. Not on my watch, said Mizu, just vacuuming back into the Oblivion.
Man, and people were doubting Alacrity when they brought him back from Makoto. My god, 11-0, 0. Nilch. No deaths this game. What a performance. Really set them up for victory on Nigma Galaxy. As soon as you take the towers, the rest of the objectives fall, and that's going to be 2 full sets of barracks.
I really like when you come up with new words, nilch as well. That's
Nilch.
That's what I've never heard before.
Nilch, nil, come on. People know what I'm speaking about. Nilch is
Nil and zilch combined together.
Nilch
It's
is
a regional
Norwegian word for 0. Look it up. Don't believe me? No, you weren't supposed to do that. I wasn't supposed to hear the keys. Stroke's going.
I mean, Urban Dictionary does say it's a combination of nil and zilch, but Urban Dictionary also has a lot of things that aren't
Let's
words.
go. You freaking doubting me?
Oh, here we go. This seems like a little bit of a last-ditch effort here. They're able to get in onto the Snapfire.
Okay, once again, another
Showdown.
snowball. They just group up for a beautiful coil. They'll have to lay down the Solar Garden, which will give them at least some control through the river. The break firstly on Alacrity, but another beautiful vacuum. Now Motivate, they sound the retreat without any possibility, because the artillery raining down, consistently slowing and dealing damage over time. As with the BKB on cooldown, Fearless is going to have to play around the unobstructed movement, and it looks like, you know, they'll let him go. Nigma Galaxy, they see a better target in Jackie. This goddamn DK illusion, they get their own powerful black dragon to play with. No gyrocopter. And this looks like it might just be the end here as Nigma Galaxy. I mean, they don't even have a tier 2 tower left standing bot if they want to go take Megas.
They could just go do Roche. I think they want the absolute security of it all. Aghanim Shard. Anyone, honestly. Probably Snapfire, I'd look to give it to. Although Paulson, he's been pretty good at looking to play on the backsides. Actually seeing a Crimson Guard coming out from him, just looking to protect the entire team from the Flak Cannon. So yeah, maybe Alacrity, just for the Waning Rift again. Just another thing that's going to be able to knock back, maybe combine together with the vacuum to make sure that you're breaking that Aghanim Scepter Dream Coil.
Wait, Mizu? He's gone a bit crazy right now. Looking to solo the team. I feel like that's a well-deserved death for that attempt. They're still sticking around. Okay. Another 1v1. Oh, this time, it's not fair. Go Camp, come on, just let it be a 1v1. No, they're hiding the wings. They're just waiting for the opportunity. They won't get it. A little bit too late with the relocate, and that'll cost Set Zero his life, and I gotta hope he's got a buyback. Even Mizu is just gonna rejoin. They recognize, they smell the blood in the water. Don't know, this one's pretty much well and truly over. Well, there you go. This has been quite the showing, honestly, from Nigma Galaxy. Still no deaths on Puck. As soon as the tier 3 tower falls, I mean, you're not going to be able to keep your barracks alive, so you have to start. But what do you do? It's only 3 heroes, no buyback on Fearless, no Set Zero as well. Gotta get crafty.
I mean, this is the sort of thing that, you know, I always talk about the impact of having one of those backline disruptors. I mean, Alacrity is one of the best in the business. Just such fast fingers. He's got the safety net with having, of course, the Blink Dagger with the Octarine Core, Psychic Headband, Aeon Disc. Like, how are you supposed to catch this guy?
The Dire now have Mega Creeps.
And this is the win that they need. You know, this is the one win that they needed to make sure that they advance through the upper bracket. A bit of a shaky period in the mid to later stages of the group stage, but they've certainly come back with a vengeance. As Motivate, they're not a bad team, but it just felt like nothing really seemed to work out for them beyond that lane.
Nice break, man. What a combo. One last attempt here from Motivate. We'll see what they can do. Jackie up to full. In Your Dreams taking a lot of damage. That's an exceptional arena as well. So they'll deal with the first lap. But now with everything expired, let's see if they can reset and go for round 2. In Your Dream, pop of the BKB along with Eclipse. They're still fighting on top of the wall. And you see with everything on cooldown, it's Nigma that should reign supreme to end the game. They don't have the damage left in the tank. The Celestial Mama can do whatever she hopes and desires, but the G's are dropped as Nigma will book a ticket into the upper bracket.
Very nicely done. Pretty hard to give an MVP for that one, to be honest. I know Alacrity, you know, how can you not give it to someone that had, what, 13 kills, 0 deaths, and 20 assists? I mean, yeah, probably give it to him. But Mizu, I thought, was very good beyond the laning stage. Obviously, so many clutch fights where he was able to get the vacuums off to combo together with the Snapfire kisses. So I thought Pollison's positioning was great. The itemization to go into the Crimson Guard and to counter the Gyrocopter. And, of course, Jokem with the steals. Like, I mean, In Your Dream didn't play badly. There just wasn't anything about his gameplay that made me go, wow, you know? Whereas I feel like every single other person on Nigma Galaxy just played to that 9 out of 10 or above level.
Yeah, we were speaking about it in the draft, though. This is like, you know, it's hard to speak about Motivate when they lost, but, you know, we're saying Fearless, he likes his high-tempo, flashy heroes, but there's games where your team's going to put you in the backpack. There's games where you're not going to be that standout performance. In Your Dream, just he did what he needed to, and I'm sure it feels nice to be a position 1 and have someone else carry you through a game sometimes. Like, I think that's exactly what you'd love and desire sometimes. Just the easy round for game 1. I want to go back to the fact that this mid lane went as bad as it did. That should not happen. Like, this is a counter for a reason. You pick the DK into the Puck matchup because of how well it should be going. And I spoke about it briefly throughout that game, but I think the fact that you expect that matchup to go in your favor, so you draft accordingly, your game plan is set up accordingly, knowing that DK is going to win that matchup. More than likely, you get...
Or at least break even. It didn't feel like he broke even at all.
He didn't break even at all. Like, he lost by a long shot. That should not have happened. You want these early towers to fall because then you have a lineup with global power. You've got Iroh +1, you've got Dawnbreaker ulti. You want pickoffs. You want to play off the back of these early blinks from Mars, from the Dragon Knight as well. And because you didn't get these towers, you couldn't have the map, you couldn't open it up, so you couldn't control the triangle to limit the Lunas farm. So Gyro couldn't get a net worth lead.
It's not even just that, right? It's also just like, Fearless on a Dragon Knight isn't like Fearless on a Storm Spirit, right? You don't need the Blink Dagger to make plays happen with the Storm Spirit. You need Blink Dagger to make plays happen with Mars or DK, right? So it's just that differential factor where Storm, Ember Spirit, both of those are able to get in onto the backlines, whether it be Mizu or In Your Dream or hell, even Pollison, and then get the follow-up that you need through the likes of, you know, the Relocate, the Solar Guardian. But it just never came because those first few towers never came. So that's the big issue. It was just a laning issue that snowballed to become much more severe than that. But that's game 1 in the books. We got 1 game left of the entire group stage in game number 2 in, what, 5 minutes or so?
About a 5-minute break, around about that. So it's still going to be another incredible match to, you know, close all things out. 11 days of groups, 1 more match to send us into the playoffs. We'll see you guys all shortly.